Hey everyone, let's dive right in, shall we? It's an extreme modern society, and we're talking about how to use our limited time. Thank you for joining me. So, you've come to explore how to use your limited time, but you feel like you don't even have the time to watch this? You're a collector of worries, aren't you? Thinking, I want to watch this, but I'm so short on time. Can I even make it to the end? I get it. You're busy. Everyone is just so busy these days, and you're always saying, once things calm down, I'll finally do what I want to do. You're thinking about traveling to that amazing place, but you're in a crucial period right now. Once that passes, then you'll tackle what you've been wanting to do. You want to start that hobby you've always dreamed of, take that trip you've always wanted, meet the people you've always been curious about. But it's all contingent on this current busyness settling down. Hold on a second. Didn't you say that last year too? That's right. You were swamped last year as well. You were in the middle of a really demanding period. And it wasn't just last year, was it? The year before that, and the year before that, even 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You've been constantly swamped. And you still haven't made it to Scandinavia, the place you've always wanted to go. You've always wanted to visit Scandinavia, to see the home of the Moomins, meet Santa Claus, witness the Northern Lights, and explore those stone-built cities. You've wanted to visit a traditional bakery, wander the Champs-Élysées in Paris, see the Eiffel Tower, and awkwardly try to ice skate in the Netherlands. But you haven't gone. You haven't been able to go. And you probably won't be able to. Today, you're just living through another one of those busy days. But don't worry, we're going to talk about using your limited time. This is information based on widely popular ideas, because everyone is busy. Haven't you noticed that almost everyone is busy? You never hear anyone say, people in New York have so much free time. They spend all day basking in the sun. You rarely see New Yorkers like that, right? They're always rushing around. And what about people in Tokyo? They're busy too, right? And it's not just Tokyo. People in Tochigi are busy. People in Saitama are busy. All of Japan is busy. The character for busy is written with the radical for standing, the character for dying, and then the character for heart. It's like losing your heart. So, here's the question that's often raised. How many weeks are there in a life? Weeks? That's not something we usually think about. It's hard to imagine. Hundreds of thousands? Tens of thousands? The answer is about 4,000 weeks. You've heard of 4,000 bodies, right? The seventh generation comedians. But 4,000 weeks? Not so much. But what do you think? When you hear 4,000 weeks, it feels a little fragile, doesn't it? Because 2 or 3 weeks go by in a flash. 2 or 3 weeks from now is practically tomorrow. 4,000 is a finite number. Somehow it feels limited. 365 days pass by so quickly. 4,000 weeks will probably be gone in no time. And this is how many weeks are in an entire life. 1 year is about 50 weeks. 80 years is roughly 50 weeks per year. So a lifetime is 4,000 weeks. I've already used up half of mine. A shocking revelation. Here I am, a man who has already consumed 2,000 of his 4,000 weeks. My battery life is at 50%. Thinking about it in terms of battery life is scary. You always want it to be above 90%, right? Even at 60%, you start to feel uneasy. My charge is getting low, isn't it? I should probably plug it in for a bit. But here I am, talking to you at 50%, and it's not going up. A hopeless situation. unchargeable, impossible to recharge. That's the battery level I'm working with. And keep in mind that 80 years is just the average lifespan. There's a real chance it could be shorter. So I, whose battery life is probably at 50%, am telling you this now. You only have 4,000 weeks. Only. And this isn't just a modern problem. The ancient Roman philosopher Seneca, yes, that Seneca, even said so. You might not know Seneca, but he was a very important figure. Seneca talked about the shortness of life. Even the great thinkers of the past were saying it. Life is short, isn't it? Before you know it, half of it is gone. It's like, who gave you permission to do that? But half of it's already past. Seneca said, just when a person is about to live, death is approaching. That's me. Just when I start to think, I should really live my life, my kids are starting to get older. Wait a minute, I think. Maybe someone out there is thinking that they have plenty of time. But even those people are probably feeling anxious. Why? Because they're not feeling fulfilled. They're not doing what they truly want to do. They're wasting time playing mindless phone games. Hey, wait a minute. What's going on? Something's off. That's right. It's that feeling that you're not doing what you want to do, or that you don't have the time to figure out what that is. There are countless resources that address this, but what's most important is recognizing the traps of productivity. It's a common trap to seek time management tips, but a lot of these tips fail to address the core problem and can even make it worse. Take, for example, the kind of life hack where you prepare all your meals on the weekend and freeze them so you don't have to cook during the week. Doing that will supposedly compress your time. Or the idea that you should use an app to manage your tasks, automate certain processes, or outsource things to other people. With all these life hacks, you should be incredibly efficient, right? But isn't it strange that even with all the amazing smartphones, apps and services available, things aren't much better than they were 10 or 20 years ago? Even though you have the smartphone, that brainchild of efficiency from Steve Jobs himself, you thought it would save you. But it hasn't saved you at all. Back in 1930, the renowned economist Keynes predicted that, based on the rate of economic growth and technological advancement, in 100 years, the amount of wealth would have exploded, technology would have advanced dramatically, and humans would be freed from labor, able to live comfortably, working only about 15 hours a week. The problem for humans then, he said, would be figuring out what to do with all their free time. Sadly, Keynes was way off. Almost 100 years have passed since 1930. We're now in 2022, so 92 years have passed. Wealth has increased, and circumstances have improved. Technology has advanced like crazy. Elon Musk is surpassing Toyota with electric cars, scattering satellites with SpaceX, and trying to reach space. But for some reason, the problem of time hasn't been solved. Wealth has increased, technology has advanced, but the problem of time hasn't been solved. Why? Because it's an internal problem, an issue of the heart, not the situation around you. External factors like wealth and technological advancement can improve, but unless people understand the internal problem of whether they can use their time well, it will never be solved. You're working hard to be efficient, working harder this year than you did last year, but you're still busy. You're still not spending time on things that are truly fulfilling. Why? Today we'll find out why. But before we solve that mystery, we need to understand the inherent tendencies of humans. I've summarized 3 of these irresistible tendencies for you. You need to understand these first. Number 1. People are bad at resting. Huh? I rest all the time. I even play hooky. I sleep in. I don't do my homework. I skip work. I'm resting. But you're just goofing off. Are you really getting restful rest? Do you have any memories of truly relaxing on your days off? Or does the weekend just fly by and you're constantly being chased and hurried by something? Have you spent years living like that? A day where you can truly say you rested only exists in commercials, right? That's exactly right. People are bad at resting. How does that work? In Christianity, there's the story of God creating the world in 6 days and resting on the 7th. The idea of resting on Sunday, of not working, was established at the religious level before it was even a law. Why? Why did they decide that? In Judaism, which predates Christianity, from Friday night to Saturday night, in Jewish areas of New York where the author lives, the elevators automatically stop on every floor. How annoying! Why is it stopping on every floor? I want to go from the 1st floor to the 9th floor, and I'm the only one in the elevator, but it stops on the 2nd floor, then the 3rd, then the 4th. You'd want to get off, right? Why does the door keep opening? It's because Jewish law says you can't turn electrical switches on or off on the Sabbath. That's a lie, you're probably thinking. Electrical switches didn't exist in Jewish times. Hush. The original rule in Judaism was that you shouldn't handle fire on the Sabbath. Lighting a fire means doing some kind of work, right? So the rule was, don't light a fire. Don't kindle it. That was reinterpreted in modern times as, don't touch the electrical switches. So even today, in Jewish areas, there's a culture of not using electrical switches, so the elevators stop on every floor. That's how strongly they emphasize resting. And what's interesting is that they emphasize that everyone, regardless of their status, must rest twice in their writings. Even people of low status, who are often forced to work, have to rest. People of high status, people who have jobs that only they can do, have to rest. Why? Because people are bad at resting. Before you know it, you're doing something. Isn't the idea of sitting still the scariest thing? Can you wait 30 minutes for someone without your phone? The thought is terrifying, right? You can't stand it. You have to do something. And if you're going to do something, it should be something meaningful. So, you end up doing a little bit of work. That's right. People are terrible at resting. People are terrible at resting. People are terrible at resting. Understand this as your first condition. Why are you always busy? Why are you always tired? It has nothing to do with technology or wealth. Now, to solve the mystery, we turn to the inherent tendencies of humans, the internal problems. One of the 3 major factors is that people are bad at resting. People are bad at resting. People are bad at resting. That's it. Even people in the past understood this, which is why they created religious rules about it. So, let's put some countermeasures in place. I won't just point out the problems, I'll also give you solutions, one by one. Afterwards, in the second half, I'll tell you how to truly be free. So, how can you fix this? You're bad at resting. 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 To counteract that, religion created rules about resting. So, creating rules and setting aside time for rest is important. It's like saving money. If you try to save whatever's left over, you'll never save anything. Money is the same as time. You must set it aside in advance. Designate time for leisure and recreation in advance. Otherwise, it will disappear. Another key human tendency People are always in a hurry. Everyone wants to reach their goals as quickly as possible. That's a human trait. Please understand that this trait is distancing you from the state of doing what you want to do. Why? Because you're aiming to go the shortest route. Section 8, continue. Isn't efficiency good? Don't you dislike detours? That's why books on how to learn something the fastest, how to lose weight the fastest, and how to get rich the fastest sell so well. But why are they still being sold? It's because the shortest route is actually the longest route. Warren Buffett, the god of investment, said, "The most fundamental part of investment is long-term investment. Because people can't slowly accumulate money. It is so difficult for them that they have to jump into quick, short-term investments.